Ukraine wakes to the sound of sirens yet again. In the east, Russian artillery pounds cities into dust. The front lines shift like shadows on a stormy sea. Satellite images reveal columns of Russian armor on the move. Moscow denies escalation, but the troop buildup tells another story. Ukraine's skies are alive with drones and missiles. Western analysts warn this could be Russia's largest offensive since 2022. Kyiv's defenses brace for a wave they may not withstand. NATO eyes the border with growing unease. Every move from the Kremlin is shrouded in deception. Intelligence leaks hint at a multi-front assault. The Black Sea Fleet stirs in its harbors ready to strike. Belarus becomes a launch pad for Russian ambitions. Cyber attacks cripple Ukrainian infrastructure. Power grids flicker as the winter cold deepens. Russian propaganda floods the airwaves. Putin speaks of historic destiny, a chilling phrase in Ukraine's memory. Armored divisions mass near Kharkiv. Long-range bombers lift off from deep within Russian territory. Precision missiles scream toward strategic targets. Ukraine's allies rush in more weapons and ammunition. HIMARS launchers roar in response. The air war intensifies over Donbass. Fighters duel above the ruins of once thriving towns. In the south, Mariupol remains under tight Russian control. Resistance fighters wage guerrilla war behind enemy lines. Grain shipments stall, threatening global food supplies. Oil prices spike as tankers reroute in fear. Russia courts new allies in the shadows: Iran, North Korea, China. Ukrainian intelligence warns of sabotage teams in major cities. Bridges are rigged with explosives in anticipation. Russia's strategy: wear down Ukraine until the world loses interest. But Kyiv refuses to break. President Zelensky addresses the nation with fire in his voice. Civilians volunteer for the front despite the danger. Mothers send their sons to war with tearful pride. Western special forces quietly arrive to train Ukrainian units. New anti-air systems guard Kyiv's skyline. The smell of smoke hangs over the capital. Missile fragments litter playgrounds and markets. Church bells ring for the dead each morning. Russian tanks push deeper into contested zones. Drone swarms scout Ukrainian positions. Night vision footage captures firefights in eerie green glow. Russia tests hypersonic missile strikes. The blast waves shake entire neighborhoods. Ukraine counters with daring raids across enemy lines. Saboteurs strike supply depots in occupied territory. Russia responds with overwhelming artillery fire. The humanitarian crisis worsens by the hour. Millions remain displaced from their homes. Aid convoys face constant shelling. Hospitals run low on medicine and blood supplies. Children study in underground bunkers. The world watches through phone screens and headlines. Diplomatic channels grow colder with each passing day. Sanctions bite deeper into the Russian economy. Yet the Kremlin shows no sign of retreat. Russian generals speak of a long war ahead. Ukraine rallies more international support. European nations increase defense spending. NATO forces conduct joint drills near the border. The U.S. sends more advanced munitions. Poland becomes a vital supply hub. Finland and Sweden tighten their security networks. Russia warns of serious consequences for Western aid. Propaganda paints NATO as the true aggressor. Cyber warfare spreads beyond Ukraine to Western capitals. Energy pipelines become targets of sabotage. The conflict begins to reshape the global order. Allies strengthen their alliances in fear of what's next. China watches closely, weighing its own ambitions. Iran offers drones in quiet defiance of sanctions. North Korea supplies artillery shells. The lines between proxy war and direct war blur. Russia tests the West's willpower with every strike. Ukraine's soldiers fight with grit and desperation. Drone footage shows villages turn to rubble. Families reunite only to be separated again. The sound of war becomes part of daily life. Churches turn into shelters for the displaced. Cultural landmarks are reduced to dust. Russia hints at mobilizing even more troops. Ukraine vows to reclaim every inch of its territory. The next phase of the war looms on the horizon. Winter's deep freeze could change the battlefield. Both armies prepare for a war of attrition. Whispers of ceasefire talks fade into silence. Instead, new offensives are mapped and planned. The Black Sea remains a flashpoint for future clashes. Russia's next move is hidden, but inevitable. It could be a push toward Odessa. It could be a massive strike on Kyiv. It could be a gamble that changes the entire war. But one truth remains: Ukraine is under fire, and the world is about to see what Russia does next.